Hello, folks. Rick Berube here for another Facebook Live on this. What is today? Thursday? It's Thursday already, Paul. Thursday. Today is the 4th. By the way, I have to say happy birthday to a friend of mine, Gailey Weinberg, from the Mike Ferry organization. And this is the only command in the dictionary, just so you know. March 4th. Get it? March 4th. Anyway, that's what she used to tell me every year when I worked there. So happy birthday, Gailey. All right. And today we have a special treat. Okay, we have from Equity Title, Brittany, Nickell, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Now, and it's great because we were just talking before how about a year ago we were thinking, roll up the streets. The pandemic has started, and we didn't know what was going to happen, right, Brittany? With the,
Absolutely.
there was a time there that was a little concerning, but we ended up having a pretty incredible year as a team, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely amazing. And again, I'm just so fortunate because again, once March hit, I thought, oh my goodness, there goes the year. And, for a lot of us, it was a great year. So again, super fortunate and just hoping to keep the momentum going.
Yes, which we will, because we won't, knock on wood. We were saying earlier, as long as there's not another pandemic or a Sharknado, that is so ridiculous, that movie. If you don't know what that is, it's okay. Trust me, don't think about
it.
As long as something that crazy doesn't happen this year, because it's already started off, Forrest, the king of numbers. I mean, everything's already started off better. I mean, appreciation, closings. The only thing that's down is in listing inventory, and even that's picking up a little bit. So,
right.
Yeah, you guys are noticing the numbers too in your closings, aren't you?
Absolutely. Again, it's been a really great start to our first quarter. Usually things are a little bit slower in our first quarter, and it's been going great. So we love to see that.
Awesome. Well, let's get into some stuff here. So, we work together as a team, Berkshire Hathaway and Equity, and we also, Axiom Mortgage as well. We work together really well. So tell them a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this so they get an idea. Not because some of them from California and Arizona, they may not know who you are, Brittany.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Brittany Nickell, and I am an account executive with Equity Title. I started in the business and with Equity Title in 2012. I didn't know anything about title and escrow. I was totally green to the industry, but I absolutely love this career. So it is absolutely amazing to work with real estate agents, help them with their business and their marketing, and again, build those relationships. Some agents I've almost been working for 9 years. So it's just an absolutely amazing career. And I'm so blessed to be able to work with all of my real estate agents every day.
That's so great. Yes. And you help them with a whole bunch of things like farming and open houses and things like that. So give me a little idea of what you do to help them with their business. Because as you know, everybody in real estate is an independent contractor, a solo entrepreneur. So that's all the help we can give them is tremendously helpful. So give an idea of what you do with them would be great.
Absolutely. So I look at my relationships with my agents as a partnership. I want to help you get business so that in turn, we all thrive. Lots of escrows are coming in the door. You're getting tons of listings. And a lot of times it comes down to finding your why. And we can help with that and what you really want to focus in with your marketing. Again, we have a ton of absolutely amazing tools, and it's really just kind of narrowing it down to what you want to focus on. I would have to say that farming is one of my absolute favorite ways to market. I teach farming classes, at least every single month. So I really work with my agents one-on-one on finding that perfect area for them and then their marketing plan. After that, when it comes to farming, one of the most important things to look at is the turnover percentage in a neighborhood. And a lot of agents don't know that. So your turnover percentage is basically the percent of homes that are selling every single year within a community. And you want to look for a certain percent before you start spending a lot of time and money and marketing resources on an area that, homes are just not selling. So again, the reps here at Equity Title, we really spend that time to make sure you're focusing on the right area, as well as the correct kind of marketing that you will be doing to that neighborhood. And
Right.
two, we have a lot of amazing resources on our website for farming as well.
Yeah, and don't you even with some of them start off a little slower with a little gardening, you call it?
Yes, so I always laugh anytime I teach a farming class. I always recommend starting off smaller. So I call it gardening instead of farming because a lot of times I'll meet with an agent and they'll say, I want to market 5,000 homes. I'm going to farm 5,000 homes. Well, and that sounds amazing. I'm going to hit 5,000 homeowners. But one of the biggest keys to farming is consistency. So
Mm,
you want to make sure that you're marketing to your farm every single month. So what I find is when, an agent first starts farming and they have this really large farm, they do it once, they don't get any phone calls, and then they never do it again.
yeah.
So if you use more of a gardening tactic to maybe where you have between, 2 to 500 homes, it's a lot easier for you to focus on and be consistent with every single month. Because again, it might take, 5 months or so for those leads to really start coming in after you've been very consistent with that farm.
Right. And unfortunately, in Vegas, and I tell them this all the time, compared to the rest of the country, especially California, we have two markets in California, we have Arizona, Nevada and Arizona, they have a benefit over California because the turnover rate is so much higher, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when I meet with an agent and I talk about farming, I always say look for about a 7% and above. Right now, we're seeing turnover percentages even higher than that,
Mm.
which is absolutely amazing. But again, anything lower than that, you just want to be a little weary of because, again, you don't want to spend 5 months marketing in a neighborhood where no homes are currently selling.
Right. Yeah. In California, it's common for them to be at 5 or 6%, but their average sale prices are about twice as much, so it's still
Right.
worth the trip.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
And,
even on our website, we have a pretty cool tool. So, kind of like I talked about, maybe you have a really large farm, you want to narrow it down, have more of a garden. We have a most likely to sell feature. So, you can basically create a farm of, say, 1,000 homes on our website. And then you can narrow it down to, say, the top 300 that are most likely to sell. So, again, another really amazing feature for our agents.
yeah, the tools are great. The numbers, the analytics that you guys provide. You'll even check a title for them. There's all kinds of wonderful things you guys do to save agents and to make them more money, which I think is great, and I think it's a great relationship that we have. Anything else farming, and I mean, to me, the just listed conversations, the just sold conversations, we have that incredible tool, neighborhood reports, the buy side, and
Mhm.
the great thing about working with you ladies is that you guys know the VAC as well as most of our agents, which is really helpful with your tools and our tools together.
Absolutely. So, just like a moment ago, I kind of talked about that most likely to sell list that you guys can pull off of our website. You can actually export that list. So, I have quite a few agents that download those lists and then upload them into your VAC, which I can help with and show you how to create groups and send out those absolutely beautiful neighborhood market reports. So just like Rick said, we have learned the VAC, so we can absolutely be a resource for that as well. And again, you can just pull that right off of our website.
Right. I love it. I love it. And I love the one-on-one service too, because let's face it, when someone gets walked through the process, they're way more apt to do it. It's just the way. Some people are super, super. I mean, we have, some people are really good with computer stuff. Like me, I have to be walked through everything if I'm going to use it. Okay. And if I don't do it every day, I'm still going to forget it. So it's completely helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The
Absolutely.
one-on-one.
And
Oh,
again, a lot of times meeting with an agent and just seeing what they want to focus on. Because again, we have so many tools, so say it's, they really want to focus on open houses. I'm going to show them our mobile app where they can pull up the farm for their open house the day before and go ahead and door drop. They have that information right there on their phone. We can create beautiful flyers for them to go and door knock the neighborhood with, as well as postcards. So again, we're not just a one-stop shop of, oh, I just want a farm, I can help with this. It's really whatever marketing you want to focus on, we have tools that can support you with that.
so important. So important. And then also, I understand that you run some social media classes for them too, which is awesome.
I
Tell them about
do.
that.
I do. So I teach mostly Facebook and Instagram. So in my Facebook class, we completely go over how to correctly set up your Facebook business page. I know it's a pretty big thing right now, making sure that you're advertising correctly on Facebook. We need to have our license number on everything. And that doesn't just go for your postcards, your flyers, that also goes for your social media. So I really make sure to take time that your page is, again, set up correctly, because no one wants to get fined. We go over, how to correctly create posts. I have some really great calls to actions for your post, as well as even doing ads on both Facebook and Instagram. So again, you can pay a very little amount of money and hit thousands of users on those social media platforms. I have a few of them recorded. So again, if anyone wants some of those recordings, I'm more than happy to send those out. But social media is a big one. And again, we can be a great resource in setting up that page and getting you going with all that posting.
Yeah, to me, okay, so like a farm is most of the time, it's a geographic location. Right. Some people do demographics, like, I was a nurse and I have all these names, or I worked at the Bellagio and and those would be more demographic than geographic farms. But social media, to me is like one of the best demographic farms you could have, because it's free unless you boost it, right? Like you said, it's free. Correct. And you're becoming familiar with a especially if you add LinkedIn in the mix. Whoops, almost knocked the microphone down. When you add LinkedIn in the mix too, because LinkedIn allows you to have a tremendous amount of connections as well. So it's I don't think people I worked at Mike Ferry for years. I was in real estate for years. I knew the foundational stuff about the business and teaching it and using it. But then social media came on. And for me, 5-6 years ago, it was because I fought it at first, like we all do. And then I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Now, when used properly, it's amazing how much some of our agents are doing business from social media.
1,000%. Social media is absolutely huge. And aside from posting, obviously posting is very important, and the content that you're putting out there. But I feel like one thing that agents sometimes forget is that you need to make sure that you're also interacting with your followers. So, before you go on and make a post, say on Instagram, go through and comment or on 10 to 15 posts of people that you follow, because that's really going to help in the engagement that you get on your post, which is what we want. We want comments, we want likes, we want shares. And again, if you're not engaging with, the people that follow you, they're not going to be as likely to, comment and like on your post. So if I had one tip, that's definitely what it would be.
Right. Yeah. But Paul accidentally threw that lever. Okay.
Love it.
He goes, oops. That is the studio audience noise that he usually reserves for later on in the call. So, Paul, stop that. That's why we love live. I love live.
I love it. But yeah, engagement is huge. And again, just make sure you're interacting with your audience, that they can get to know you, as a person, because same for us in title and escrow. We're not so much selling a product as we are a relationship. You want people to like you and build that trust with you. And so you just want to make sure that, you're not just always posting a quote or a flyer, things like that. You want to post organic content, video of yourself is huge, so that they can truly get to know you and your business.
Yeah, I know. And I was just going to say that's why we do these Facebook Lives. Okay, we get to interview wonderful people like you, Brittany, and, it's a tremendous source. Okay, so as a real estate agent, there's two reasons I would use social media. Okay, I always joke and say I'm from New England, but I don't use social media so people in New England know I'm having fish or, I'm on vacation. That's not why I do it. I use it strictly, for business. That's the way I look at it. I don't need people. So, but as one of the things I learned is that video, like me talking, is completely all the stuff you mentioned, we have tremendous content for Berkshire Hathaway, just like you guys do for equity as well. So that content is good and you should be doing it. But when you add video, like talking, walking, discussing your life, or what's the word I'm looking for? Document what you're doing. You're out door knocking in your farm. do a video. We even have that Videolicious app, right? That app is,
Right.
I just love it because of the name. I want to use it because it's called Videolicious. Sounds incredible, doesn't it?
It does.
And it's really,
so true.
Go ahead.
Yeah, people connect with you on a totally different level when they watch you through video versus still image. And that's why it's so important. I know it's hard, even for me right now, being on video. I'm like, oh my goodness. But my recommendation, on Amazon, they sell like a $10 to $20 little tripod you can hook your phone right on and just start practicing every single day. Do like a 2-minute video. Maybe you talk about tips to staging a home, or again, like Rick said, maybe you're out touring a community or doing an open house. So just start practicing, because the more you start doing video, the more comfortable you'll feel. And again, people just get to know you on a completely different level, and you'll really see it again in that engagement when you start posting those videos of people commenting, liking, and all the things that we want for those posts.
Yeah. Even your hobbies, and like for instance, I make sure that I have a little bit of I do a little bit of music. I do a little bit of golf. I do a little bit of working out. I do a little bit of my kids. You have to show, because what's happening is you're becoming familiar with a group of people who are not familiar with you. Okay, my little joke is they're your friends on Facebook. That doesn't mean they're your real friends. Okay, but if they get to know you and they see you're professional and you have a life, and that's why reality shows are so important today, because they get to know you personally, and then the chances of them using you go up tremendously, or referring somebody to use you. That's the whole idea. It's not about being a narcissist, right? It's about becoming familiar with a group of people.
100%. And one thing that's really awesome, say with like Facebook and especially Instagram, is that those social media sites will give you insights on your post. So it's going to tell you like which of your posts perform better than the others. So for example, on my equity title business Instagram, I was just posting like flyers, things about classes, and they weren't performing that well. And then I posted a picture of my son playing in the snow, and I got a ton of engagement on that post.
I
and
saw
Instagram,
that one.
Right. Like this post is performing 80% better than your other posts. So immediately what that told me is that my followers want to see more personal content from me. They might not want to see the flyer or the quote all the time. They truly want to get to know me. So always make sure that you're looking into those insights, because again, you want to make sure you're posting the things that your followers and friends are interacting with the most.
Absolutely. No, I agree 100%. And that tells, because when I put my kids or Tina, my wife, they always get more. And then vacation, they always get more because they love to see a look. Let's face it, people are nosy.
Right.
They love to see what's going on. They love, here's what I'm convinced of. This is my life. I want to compare my life to your life to see how I'm doing. I think that's human nature. Just like that's how we sell homes. Compare this price to that price equals value. It's the same thing. People like to see what's going on, right?
Absolutely, 100%. So again, just try and have a good mix in there of, again, personal content as well as business content. One other thing that Instagram does with insights that's really cool is that as long as you have 100 followers, Instagram will actually tell you the days and times that your followers are most active. So you could go to like Monday and it'll show you your followers are most active at 6 p.m. on Monday. So that would tell me that's when I need to post that day to, again, get the most engagement on that post. So a pretty cool feature that's in there.
Yeah. And I think most people gravitate more towards, like for me, I think my age group is Facebook and LinkedIn.
Right.
Although I do have Instagram, I have about almost 2,000 followers, but it's taken me 5 years to get there, where I've been capped out on Facebook with personal friends for a while, and LinkedIn allows you 30,000 connections. You can go forever on LinkedIn. So I think you automatically gravitate more towards one than the other. And now the new TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I am not on TikTok.
What?
But I do watch Reels on Instagram, which I know Reels aren't quite as good. But I will say that Reels are awesome. And I've actually learned a couple cool, tricks for my house and things like that. So if I was an agent, I would definitely be diving into TikTok and Reels. I know Greg Chin does an amazing job out of
he's great.
TikTok,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
But they're super entertaining. And again, you can do very short little video clips, and they can be very educational as
Yeah. He's
well
like,
to your followers
he,
and fun to watch.
Greg's like the ambassador to Las Vegas. That's what he comes across as when I watch it. I think it's so awesome. He gives people updates, what's going on, what's happening,
Mhm.
not just with the real estate market. The other day, he put an accident on there. Like there was a big accident on the two, not funny, 215, but so
Right.
yeah, all that stuff is good. People love it. If you act like the ambassador, they treat you like the ambassador.
Absolutely. And again, if you want to be on Facebook more than you want to be on Instagram, don't feel pressured to do both.
Yeah.
Start with what you're comfortable with and what you're going to focus on. I would rather have an agent that says, I'm going to focus on Facebook and farming, than an agent that says, I'm going to do Facebook, I'm going to do Instagram, I'm going to do farming, I'm going to do this. Find two things and really put 100% of your effort into those.
Totally agree. It's better to move forward with a few things than try to do everything and do nothing. Okay. And by
Absolutely.
the way, I'm sick of hearing, oh, it's not me. I love when they tell me that. It's not me. Do you think being on video was me from the beginning? It wasn't. I got used to it now. Okay. I just don't dissect myself anymore. Oh, look at that. I have two chins. I don't do any of that to myself. As a matter of fact, I very rarely watch my own videos anymore because they are what they are, but they work. Being perfect is not the issue. Okay.
Nope.
No one's ever perfect. Everybody has, upsides, downsides. Speaking of that, okay, so between farming, let's just stick with farming and social media. If I'm an agent and I want to take it to the next level, what would be the three most important things you tell them to focus on? Put you right on the spot. How's that?
Well, as a new agent, my top three would, of course, be farming, social media, and open houses. Open houses for me are huge. And a lot of times I'm meeting with agents that are new here to Las Vegas. So they don't have any sphere here. Of course, if
Right.
you're from Las Vegas, you want to make sure you're, reaching out to your sphere, letting them know you're now a real estate agent. But again, I have a lot of agents that are moving here from out of state. So to me, open houses are your absolute best resource in meeting new people. There is also a website called meetup.com. It's pretty cool. Right now, obviously, because of COVID, I don't know how active it is. But I always tell agents to get on there as well, because meetup.com has like 10,000 different groups. I love, golden retrievers or, Las Vegas foodies. And it's basically where a group of people meet up maybe, once a week, once a month to, hang out with people with similar interests. So again, if you don't have a sphere here, you don't know anyone, that website can be an amazing resource for you with
Nice.
that.
Nice. Okay, so stick with the basics. Get out there, pick a farm. Yeah, I
Right.
can't tell you how many agents I coach that don't even have a farm yet. I'm
Mm-mm.
like, hello.
Well, right. What I find most of the time, we set up a farm, we pick up a farm, the agent mails or door drops to it once. And again, they don't get a phone call. So they say, Brittany, I want to choose a different farm. And unfortunately, it just does not work that way. Farming, you need to be, marketing them to them consistently, because it might take until the fifth time that they hear your voice or see your marketing piece that they give you a call.
Right.
So really try and be patient with your farms and give it time before just moving on to a new area.
Right. And the way to look at that is if you have a farm with 1,000 homes and it's an 8% turnover rate, well, we know 80 homes are going to sell. If you do this for a year and you get 10% your first year, that's 8 deals, but it's really 16 because you have a listing sold and a buyer sale. After 2 or 3 years, if you can get it up to 30%, which I've seen, that's pretty incredible. That's a lot of business from one area. To me, farming, just listed, just sold, all fit into the same category. And a place like Las Vegas, it's a tremendous place to spend your time because of the turnover rate so high.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, one other farm I've been talking about quite a bit in these sales meetings is, I call it my hot buyer farm. So as we know, inventory is really low right now. It is starting to climb back up. But anytime as an agent that you have a buyer, obviously right now it's hard, finding them a home, getting them under contract. So send your equity title marketing rep an email for a farm of, say, the zip code or neighborhood that your buyer wants to be in. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, square footage. Do they want a pool? And we can actually pull all of the homes that match that criteria And we already have a letter drawn up basically saying, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I have a buyer who's interested in purchasing your home. Are you interested in selling? And that is working really well
I love
right
it.
now. Right.
Yeah.
So just a great idea for you guys. And what we can also do for that farm is we can pull phone numbers for you guys. So say you don't want to send out the letter, you want to make those phone calls. Just let us know. And again, we can order those phone numbers for you to go ahead and get on the phone and start calling those potential homes for your buyer.
Yep, I love it. I love it because what I'm hearing a lot of, I've got 4 buyers but no properties. Well, do what you just said. Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, first off, you need to hire me by a broker agreement if they haven't already done that. Very important. But you tell me the neighborhood, and I'm going to put together this marketing information, and I would take it. Calling's good, but if you can go out and hand deliver the letters and knock on their door, that's even better. It shows massive urgency, commitment, dedication. Absolutely. Now, if you're in California, you can't do that right now. You can mail and call, but you will soon be able to do that. I say soon. Who knows in California? I'm hoping soon. But Nevada and Arizona, you can already do that. So I would definitely. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I have we sold a bunch of homes in your neighborhood, and because of that, we have tremendous. Get into the script, which is called the Hot Buyer Script and the Book of Everything. Okay.
Absolutely. And even when inventory isn't low, if I was an agent, I would do this for every buyer that I had because they're going to be relatively small farms. Because, when you have a listing, again, you have your sign in the yard, you have flyers in the box, you're probably doing, a just listed postcard. So there's several different ways to get more business off of that one listing. So sometimes it's like, how do we get more business off the buyers that we work with? And again, that letter could be a great resource for you because even if someone contacts you from that letter, and maybe your buyer's already gone under contract or, they know they won't be interested in that home. Here's a listing lead for you because now this person is already thinking about selling their home.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Look, the key is everything we talked about this morning is about being proactive. It's you taking action and then the results will follow. But like Brittany said, it takes a while to lay the foundation. You don't go to the gym January 1st. And then go home, look in the mirror, and go, oh, look at that, I lost 30 pounds and I have a 6-pack. No, it takes a while. Right. Everything takes, that's why most people don't put in the time, okay? Mm-hmm. And then it gets really frustrating, and then you keep going, and it gets better, and next thing you know, you are really proud of yourself. Any final words you want to leave them today, Brittany?
Yeah, again, just know that we are a resource here for you guys. No matter what kind of marketing you're thinking of doing, I guarantee you there is a way that we can assist you guys. We have no just, here's a list of what we do and that's it. We truly want to be a resource here for you. And we are constantly thinking of new ideas for marketing for you guys, new marketing pieces. We recently hired an amazing graphic designer at Equity Title, and she's made some awesome, just like generic flyers for you guys. So we have like a master list of that if any of you would like to see those. But again, just know that we are always here to kind of guide you and walk you through your marketing and, also build that relationship with an escrow officer. A lot of my new agents, I love it just because they see me so much in the beginning. I get written into contracts, which don't write me in. But again, really building that relationship from, myself and the agent to also the agent and escrow officer, because aside from your marketing, we also want to make sure that you guys get amazing customer service from our company. And we have some amazing escrow officers for you all to work with.
Yes. Right in Equity, just not Brittany's name by name.
Don't write my name.
Although it's a very good compliment. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll put a plug in too. I love using, myself personally. I've done a few transactions since I've been here. I've used John at Axia, although Mike and Chris and all those guys are wonderful too. I just happen to use John because John's at my office. Just like if I was here, Rhonda happens to be my equity rep. You are at Sahara,
right.
Right. So but the reason I do it is once I sit down and talk to that person, I don't have to worry about it. Okay, right. Once it's set to go close at Equity Title, I don't have to worry about it. My little joke is every time I close at Equity, I get money back. It's amazing. I wire in money and it's like McDonald's. You get money back every time, except way better. All right. Right. All right. So there we go. Thank you very much, Brittany, for your time. Really appreciate it. We love Equity Title. You're the best.
Awesome.
My pleasure. See you soon. Thanks.
You.
Bye, everybody.
Perfect.